Pop culture is more than just entertainment. It's a lens into society, relationships, and human behavior. I'm Grace, and here on The Grace Report, we dive into stories beyond the headlines. Whether it's reality TV drama, celebrity scandals, or royal family intrigue, I'm here to break it all down. What it means, why it matters, and how it reflects the world we live in. Join the conversation, share your take, and let's make sense of the culture shaping our lives one story at a time. Good morning, sunshine. So sorry I'm late today, y'all. I had the most stressful meeting at the finance office today, or like the government of like taxes or whatever that building is called. Because I think I mentioned this to you guys before, but I filed my taxes for my 2024 income. I did that back in like June. And I'm one of those like boomers who does it in person, in hand at the tax office, right? Because I have a hard time with like figuring out how to do it online, right? So I went, I did it, and I took a picture when they officially stamped it to show that I had filed my thing. And it's just something that I like to do for insurance purposes. And especially because this is like one of the most, if not the most important document I need to provide, which is the tax return confirmation thing, when I go to apply for residence permits and visas and renewals and whatnot, right? So I said, listen, just in case, let me have this for insurance purposes. And sure enough, you guys, I get an email and they tell me, Grace, you didn't file your taxes for like 2024. What's going on? Like, you need to file these. You're like way late, blah, blah. I'm like, how's that possible? Blah, blah. So I go, I look, and sure enough, I have the proof that I filed my freaking taxes. So I went to the office last week. I asked them for all this stuff. They told me to write them an email so that they could send me proof for, and I go to my visa renewal appointment. I sent the email, still haven't heard back, and I have my visa appointment next week, and I really, really need this paper or else they're not going to accept my thing, and they'll deport me, y'all. So I went back today, and then I had to refile my taxes. So I brought all those things, and it was a hassle. I left there shaking, you guys, like just stressed. Thankfully, I had somebody to help me because I was just, going through it today. But it was a lot. And I'm so happy that that is over and done with. I have to go back Friday to pay something off. They accidentally listed the apartment I live in, which is my primary residence. They listed it as a secondary and were charging me for it. And then they said, okay, we can get rid of it, but we'll have to charge you to get rid of it. So I said, okay, let me pay this off on Friday. And then what else happened? I'm trying to think of what else happened. It was a nightmare, you guys. It truly was. They wanted me to pay like 3,000 euros. Because like it was misclassified, my apartment, and just all this stuff. I left there like, oh my God, like I'm shaking, literally shaking. But I'm so happy to be with you guys. So that's kind of what took me a while to get back here and into the groove. Thank y'all so much for joining me for another episode of the Morning Report. As usual, I'm always so happy to be able to chat with you guys about the day's hottest stories. We've got Gala in the house. Good morning, Boo. Good morning, Cami. Good morning, Sweet Bonjour. Good morning, Jenny. Good morning, Acacia. Good morning, Venetia. Bonjour, Remster. Good morning, Kate, Shauna, Ali, Amelia, Kahara. Great question, Sweet Bonjour. So she's wondering where y'all are from or where y'all are living right now. She's in Texas looking to move to Portugal. Portugal's a great pick. The food is amazing. The people are really, really nice. And the weather is incredible. So shout out to you on looking to expatriate in the near future. I hope everything goes well for you, Sweet Bonjour. And I think normally Portugal is really good as far as visas are concerned. So you should have a relatively smooth time over there. Good morning, Autumn. You're back for your second live morning report. I love when our playback posse gets converted into, our live watchers. And I'm going to bookmark this Ramster for when we get into the Dolly Parton story, because I was shook because I did hear about Dolly having health problems last week or the week before. So her sister coming online to ask for prayers. I'm like, please don't let this be the end of Dolly. Like, she is just a freaking like an amazing, amazing, amazing singer in person. And that would be some really, really sad news. Good morning, Castle Magic. Good morning, Ronnie. Good morning, Milen, Tamara. And thank you so much, Ronnie. I need all the good vibes I can get. Like, I am so close to the wire. Like, I have to have something transferred and done before the 17th, which is my prefecture appointment, and it's like this close to the wire. So I'm like shaking. I'm really, really hoping everything pans out, but it's hard, you guys. It's really hard. Good morning, KK. For some reason, I haven't been able to comment lately, so it's basically putting me in the bushes. Your hair is absolutely beautiful. Well, thank you, KK. Thanks for creeping out of the bushes to come hit us up. I wonder what was happening with your comments. It's so strange. Deshauna says, my husband and I still haven't gotten our taxes back. Shaking my head. We filed on time too. Isn't it the worst? It is so annoying. And, Ramsey, the whole trigger, I'm telling you, I hate going back and looking at my finances and everything. So having to go back and redo it was like, oh my God, like I just hate numbers. I truly, truly do. So that was really difficult. I put that off for a little bit. And so now I really, really had to go and get that done. But the guy was really nice. He said, come Friday, pay this other tax, which you shouldn't have even been paying in the first place, but I'll give you this massive discount. I'll take the X thousand off of it and have you just pay a couple hundred or whatever euro on it. And then come back Monday, we'll give you a document that shows that, yes, you did indeed file your taxes on time and that we lost it and that it's not your fault. So I said, thank you, thank you, thank you. And thanks, Emily. So nice to see you. Trust is here. Hey, Trust, we got a new friend. I just moved back to New Jersey from Dallas. Good luck, sweet bonjour. Ooh la la. How was Dallas, by the way? Listen, I've been to New Jersey once and I actually thought it was so quaint. Like it gave a lot of like cute village vibes. I was quite surprised by that. Because listen, when you're watching Mob Wives, when you're watching the Real Housewives of New Jersey, you don't get that vibe at all, but it felt very wholesome and quaint. Tamara is in British Columbia, Canada as well. Shout out to my Canadians. Tim Hortons all day. Whoop, whoop. Good morning, Laura. Nice to see you back. Okay, KK, that is so strange because yeah, I just do subscribers only, not members only, but subscribers only. So that's really strange. Listen, that's the thing about YouTube. Sometimes they do have these bugs that are really, really difficult to, even know are happening in the background. But I'm glad that all is well now and that you're able to chat with us live. Guys, look what I got back. I've got our itinerary. Y'all know I love me a good itinerary. These are the topics we're going to be covering in today's episode of the Morning Report. We're going to talk about Dolly Parton's sister asking for prayers for her. Selena Gomez. Remember how she had her friend donate her a kidney? Well, let me take this down when I tell you this. It turns out she and that girl really did fall out. Her name's Francia. And Francia wasn't even invited to Selena's wedding. Guys, I don't know. This whole situation has made me look at Selena, in a very different light, and it's not a good thing. We also have to talk about Offset. He's speaking out on rumors that he cheated on his ex-wife, Cardi B, with Saweetie. Denise Richards has new shocking allegations against her ex-husband or estranged husband. And we're going to end with Hilaria Baldwin, or should I say Hilarious Baldwin, denying that she is a Nepo wife. All that and more in today's episode of The Morning Report. If you find yourself enjoying it at any given moment, please do not hesitate to hit that like button, okay? Why don't we start off with Dolly Parton, or as Beyonce had her calling herself on the album, Dolly P, which I think is absolutely adorable. So, her sister said that she wanted to have some prayers for her. By the way, her sister's name is Frida, which is such a beautiful name. Anyways, on Facebook, she posted, and I quote, last night I was up all night praying for my sister, Dolly. Many of you know she hasn't been feeling her best lately. I truly believe in the power of prayer, and I've been led to ask all of the world that loves her to be prayer warriors and pray with me. She's strong, she's loved, and with all the prayers being lifted for her, I know in my heart she's going to be just fine. Godspeed, my sissy Dolly. We all love you. And this is coming off the heels of news that came out just a week and a half ago, if even that, probably less, that Dolly Parton had to postpone her residency that was supposed to take place from December 4th until December 13th at the Coliseum Theater at Caesar's Palace due to health challenges. And mind you, Dolly Parton is 79 years old, so almost 80 years old. So when you hear about somebody this age having health complications, causing them to pull out of gigs and whatnot, you really do fear that this is something that is incredibly, incredibly, incredibly serious. But thank God, she seems to be recovering pretty well. Okay, so she did also, when she announced that she would be postponing her residency. She said that her doctors told her she has to have a few procedures. Quote, as I joked with them, it must be time for my 100,000-mile checkup, although it's not the usual trip to see my plastic surgeon. Isn't she hilarious? I've always loved Dolly Parton's sense of humor the most. In all seriousness, given this, I am not going to be able to rehearse and put together the show that I want you to see and the show that you deserve to see. You pay good money to see me perform, and I want to be at my best for you. So there you go, you guys. Let me see what Ramster had to say. So I did bookmark Ramster's comment because it seems as though she got an update on what exactly Dolly's sister was asking for prayers for. So Ramster says, and I quote, Dolly's sister now admits she asked for prayers because Dolly was a bit under the weather, but she asked for prayers because she believes in the power of prayer, right? So to me, under the weather, it sounds like good, like everything's going to be okay, right? To me, when I hear under the weather, it sounds like, oh, it's a cold or something like that, right? So I'm hoping that it's really something small. However, when Dolly Parton said that her doctors told her that she would need some operations, and again, she's like 80 years old at this point, that really does make me quite nervous. So I really, really do hope that everything turns out okay for her. And I know, Minnie, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. And it has really made this whole process that much more stressful, right? So stressful. And yes, isn't that so fun, Ronnie? I didn't even know that existed. So shout out to you, Ashley, for putting us on that. Emily says she's been a watcher since 2017. I started in 2016, so you're up there. You're an OG for sure, Emily. Like I started posting here and there in 2016, and then at the beginning of it, and then really heavily towards the middle end of it. So that's really crazy. Tress says, glad you're getting those taxes. Yes, amen, amen. Listen, I'm scared. Let me knock on wood that everything goes okay, because I'm literally on edge right now. America, no, you don't like? Have you had an iced cappuccino, Shelby? Because I feel like it was probably the same there. Because I did have Tim Hortons when I was in Mallorca, and it tasted just like the Canadian one. So I do think that they are pretty much the same things. Justice for Selena. Listen, justice for Francia, Ali. The way that they went about getting that kidney out of her was crazy to me. You know, truly, truly, truly crazy for me. What about the rest of you guys? How long have you guys been subscribed to my channel? Because I love hearing this. How long have you guys have been here? So Ronnie says she's been here since 2018. Y'all, we've been riding together forever. Good morning, Struggle is Real. Nice to see you. Good morning, Francine. Nice to see you too. Everyone from Perth, Western Australia. The movie was so good. Thanks for reminding me. Guys, if you can watch one battle after another, go, please. Best movie I'd seen in a while. 5 out of 5 stars. Absolutely freaking incredible. It's long, almost 3 hours long, but the time goes by like that. Everybody was incredible in it, especially Sean Penn, for me anyways. Triana Taylor killed it. Regina King killed it as well. So did Leo. But to me, Sean Penn was just incredible. I love that character. He was hilarious. Tamara says, love Dolly. She seems like such a great person according to everything I've ever heard about her. I hope she feels better too. And I feel the same way, right? Like she seems like a really great person, and her sense of humor is absolutely to die for, especially given the way that people have tried to kind of like degrade her for years over her choice to present herself a certain way with plastic surgery and whatnot. And she always just turns it on its head. Like she laughs at herself and she owns who she is, and she cannot be shaken. And I love, love, love that. The fact that she's been able to do that for so long, you know, before it was even, you know, kind of normalized for women to have the kind of attitude and like no F's given vibe that she has is so incredible. Ronnie says, I felt old the other day. My employee had no idea who Dolly was. Oh, who doesn't know Dolly Parton? Listen, I have an 11-year-old nephew. I feel like he should know who Dolly Parton is as well. Sometimes when like, you know, Gen Zs or whatever these people are called don't know certain people and they're like iconic people. I'm like, do your parents not talk to you? Like, you know, maybe you don't listen to these people, but like you should have an idea of who they are, right? Because don't your parents like talk about them, like something, right? And Milan, yeah, that's definitely what it sounds like. Because, you know, she has to be very, very careful about the type of thing she posted, because a lot of people are on pins and needles right now, given the news that Dolly Parton needs to have a couple of procedures and is not doing well. So when you come and say prayers, 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 we're thinking that you were thinking the worst, and that's not cool. And that's definitely not something that I think Dolly wants to be dealing with at the moment, right? And exactly, Ramster, that's one of the things I'm thinking about when I say that Dolly loved to laugh at herself, and I love it. It takes all the power away from people who want to put you down, with their stupid questions and their stupid statements. um she did, Ali, she listen, I'm gonna have to bookmark your comments because you're making me laugh, and I want to talk about them when we get into the Selena story. But I don't know. It still makes me look at her really funny, to be honest with you. Gwen says, "Good morning, Gwen. I had to watch Zara Larson live on YouTube just now. What's she doing live on YouTube? She's an actress. She has a YouTube channel now. Damn. Okay, what's going on? She has a new movie coming out, doesn't she? Because I think I saw a trailer for her new movie. So Sweet Bonjour's been here since 2018. Jaleesa has been here since mid 2016. Y'all go way back with me. This is crazy. We're almost like a decade in with some of you guys, and with others, we're over 5 years in. Incredible, absolutely incredible. Seeing Teyana Taylor in a big movie is great to see. Yes, amen. She's been working so hard, and I'm so happy to see her pop off and get that recognition that she deserves. Sweet Bonjour says Dolly is hilarious. I love her sense of humor, and she's an amazing person. Exactly. Like, I think I heard in that she wrote the song "And I Will Always Love You" that was popularized by Whitney Houston. And then apparently what she does with the money, oh no, look at me. I'm so frazzled today. I forgot to plug in my mic. And apparently what she is that she's that shit to to a community. I forgot what it is. I know that it's like an African community, but I don't know like in what particular state. I don't know if it's in Whitney Houston's home state or something like that, but she really gives back to the culture and everything, which I thought was a really beautiful thing. And hello to another OG, Ramster. Love, love, love. Hey Theo, nice to see you, boo. Nice to see you. Listen, y'all, Allie's got me, she's got me ready for the Selena Gomez story. So why don't we go ahead and jump into that, okay? Because I do have quite a bit to say about it, and I'm curious to know what y'all think, okay? So do y'all remember Selena Gomez and Francia Raisa? They grew up as friends. They were both child actresses. I remember Francia got her big break on The Secret Life of the American Teenager, and they seemed to be very close until Francia donated a kidney to Selena Gomez. And I believe there was some sort of documentary or, deep dive that they both provided interviews for about how exactly that whole thing unfolded, right? And listen, I think it's great. If you want to loan your friend a kidney or give your friend a kidney, go ahead and give your friend a kidney, right? But it's just that Francia, from what I understood from what she said in this documentary, some things were very weird about the confidentiality that she was not, awarded. She had the right to a certain level of privacy, confidentiality to think about this decision. But unfortunately, the doctors violated that by telling Selena that they were a match before they told Francia. So Francia could really process things and really, really have a good, hard think about whether or not she was going to go through something like this, a literal operation to remove an organ from her body and to give it to somebody else. And another thing about organ donation is that the person who donates the organ, they have a harder time recovering than the person who receives the organ because they are losing something, right? And so she went through a lot, an awful lot for her friend Selena, who again was a childhood friend. They were both child actresses together, right? And so according to her father, the two of them would later go on to fall out because Selena, and it's been long rumored that Selena might have some sort of a drug and alcohol problem, right? I've heard a lot of rumors about her, doing all that skiing, all those lines or something. I don't know if they're true or not, but this has been a long-standing rumor of hers. And there's also been rumors that she drinks a lot. I think this is something she's copped up to, that she might have even potentially been an alcoholic once upon a time, right? And so Francia's father was really upset about this. He spoke about this publicly. When asked on a Spanish language radio station or show why it is that his daughter no longer speaks to Selena, right? Because your average person would think, oh, you guys are lifelong friends. You've been friends since you were children. So obviously when you give an organ to this person, you're going to continue to be friends and be even closer friends because you did something so freaking selfless, right? Well, anyway, that's apparently the reason why these two started falling out. Francia allegedly felt really disrespected by that. Right? Well, I had to go through all this for you, and you're out here partying, getting crunk with my freaking kidney. What the hell? Right? And now this is something I didn't even notice when I was talking about Selena Gomez's wedding, but Francia was not invited to the wedding. There was Taylor Swift, Miley Cyrus was even there. I'm hearing Cardi B was there. There were so many celebrities there, but not her childhood friend, her friend who gave her a kidney, Francia. And so a reporter caught up with Francia at an event, and Francia explained where she was at in her current relationship with Selena Gomez. She wants us to believe, that there are no hard feelings there, but I don't know. I got to be honest with you guys. I'd be feeling some type of way if I were her. Take a listen to what it is that she had to say, and we're going to talk more about this on the flip side. You know what I want to do? In case Ali or anyone else wants to hop on and share their thoughts by audio, video, or anything like that, I'm going to post a link that you guys can use to go ahead and call in with your opinions. Okay, so there it is. I'm going to go and pin it to my live chat. So there you go. Take a look at what it is that Francia had to say. Again, this was an interview done in Spanish, but there are subtitles, English subtitles, for those of you who do not speak Spanish. Take a look.
Sé que se va a casar y estoy muy feliz por ella y pues mira, tiene vida y pues ya es billonaria y pues estoy agradecida que pude hacer eso por ella.
Y a las personas que se motiven, ¿a qué mensaje les mandarías a las personas que quisieran en algún momento ser donantes de algo tan importante como lo que tú hiciste para esas personas que pasamos? Yo que estoy en diálisis, ¿qué les dirías?
Mira, desde el principio los doctores me dijeron, es una donación. Si vas a donar $1 a St. Jude o a otro lugar, no vas a llamar a decir, oye, ¿qué estás haciendo con mi $1? Es una donación y es algo bonito que pude hacer. Estoy agradecida que estoy viva y poder decir que he salvado una vida. Yo creo que para las mujeres es un poco más difícil y los hombres, pues que ellos se enfrenten a donar, pues, porque para las mujeres yo creo, por mi experiencia, es un poco más difícil.
Y en cierto momento estuviste un poco, tú, no enojada, pero sí a disgusto porque tú le habías hecho este sacrificio a ella y ella como que no estaba tomando las cosas de la manera que tenían que ser.
Bueno, ahorita lo que me estás preguntando son bromas que ha estado en el medio y hay demasiados rumores. Yo nunca he dicho nada. Justo cuando salió ese rumor de que yo me había enojado o algo así porque estaba fumando, yo ni sabía, me llamó TMZ, yo estaba trabajando, entonces lo que me estás preguntando son rumores, o sea, nadie sabe de lo que está pasando y ni ella y yo estamos hablando de eso y algún día a lo mejor sí.
So there you go, you guys. Francia saying that everything is okay on her end. She can't be monitoring what it is that Selena does or doesn't drink or does or doesn't snort with her kidney, right? A donation is a donation. You give it to the person, you hope they take care of it, and you move on with your life. But again, I do find it surprising that they're no longer close right after this. There's just, I don't know, you guys, like there's just something so weird about that, right? Like to me, I think it gives credence to the rumors that her dad might be right about her being really disappointed and really upset with the lifestyle choices that Selena was making while she was still recovering after giving Selena a kidney. Oh, we've got Ali in the building. Ali's got a lot of very, very strong opinions, so I'm really excited to hear what she has to say. Hey, Ali.
Give me 1 second.
Sure, no problem.
Let me in the office.
I am so ready. I have so many of your like comments bookmarked and everything.
No, I just would say, hold on, let me go outside so that I'm not
No problem.
getting in trouble.
So for those of you guys wondering, Ali, I think she said she was on her way to a meeting. So she's sneaking to find a nice place to be able to share her opinion with us. So hang tight, you guys. And so
Okay,
let me go.
I am outdoors. No,
Perfect.
So what I would say is this kidney donation happened about 5 to 10 years ago, it feels like. She was an adult. She signed for the kidney to be donated, and she stays talking about it. Like that's her, like she's an actress, correct?
She is, yes.
So why isn't she on TV or in the movies? She keeps Selena Gomez in her mouth like she's getting a paycheck. She needs to get over it.
You know, I feel like that's the question that they keep on asking her, because it is true. There are other celebrities who are known or who are working in Hollywood and whatnot, yet the press will always ask them that same one question. And unfortunately for her, this is it, right? Like, what's your relationship like with Selena? How do you feel about the way she's using your kidney and whatnot? It's crazy.
Because we saw her on The Secret Life and she was a thought then, and she's not a thought now because she's not in anyone's thoughts. Prayers and blessings for her. Stop putting a damper on the newlyweds.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully she can, get past this. Maybe enter a rehab for, her mental well-being.
Oh my God. Are you a Selenator? Is that what they call the Selena Gomez fans?
Oh no, I could care less. But it's funny.
I love it. Well, I do have to ask you, if that was something that you kind of like, went through, right? A friend of yours was having issues and needed some sort of organ donation, and you made an organ donation, and your friend was allegedly abusing drugs and alcohol that are known to cause issues with this particular organ. How would you approach your friend in that scenario?
I would hate it, but you know how you give $1 to a homeless person? You're not micromanaging the dollar that you gave them. You gave it willingly.
Yeah. True.
So if I give a kidney to a friend in need, I'm not going to micromanage the kidney I donated.
And you know what? To be fair, it does feel like that's kind of where she's at, like in her journey now. Like, so maybe there was a fallout over this. And like she just said, like, it's kind of like the St. Jude thing. Like, she's just leaving it. Maybe you have to cut off this person and just move on with your life, which I think is fair. But I do agree with you that they have to stop asking her about it. It has been a couple of years. It's time to move on.
It's been many years, many seasons, and it's time for perhaps maybe for her to take some acting classes, get back out there, again, I said, prayers and blessings for her journey in the future.
I love that. Thanks so much, Allie.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. Oh my God. She was cracking me up in the live chat, and just hearing her live too was just absolutely hilarious. I think she's right. And I think that Francia is right too. I think maybe now she just might need to start saying no comment when it comes to this question, because it's a little bit too tied to her brand. And, like Ali says, it's like, okay, what about your acting? Are you not an actress? Like, plug your projects, Francia, because I do imagine that she still has other things that she's got on the go. I think she's still a working actress. And so it might now be just time to say, listen, that's in the past. I've moved on. I've got this coming out. Go stream this. Go watch this. Go buy tickets for that. And, keep the focus on what it is that she does for work. Milan says, I am team Selena. Francia loves to dangle the fact that she gave Selena a kidney. Selena thanked her profusely, but Francia seemed to think she could now dictate Selena's life. And you know what? That's the thing, honestly. Giving somebody your organ is such a huge, huge, huge decision. Can I be honest with you guys? I want to ask you guys, honestly, especially after seeing how much the person who donates suffers because their body is missing something, and now has to overcompensate for the missing organ. Is this something that you would do for a friend, or even a spouse? Listen, I'm not going to tell your husbands, I'm not going to tell your wives, your girlfriends, but is this something you do for a spouse? Is this something you would do for a friend? Is this something you would only do for a family member? Because I got to be really honest with you, just looking at the way that this played out, it's giving me some pause, about just the idea of going through something so massive and just to be not appreciated, and not even appreciated as in thank me, but appreciated as in take care of my thing, put the crack pipe down, put the bottle down, sort of a thing. You know what I mean? I don't know. I would be pissed. I understand if she's pissed and if she had to distance herself for that. Just saying. Julissa says, my grandpa and dad had this, and unfortunately my grandpa died. Was your grandpa the donor for his son, aka your dad? And then because he was missing his organ, he passed away? Either way, I'm really, really sorry to hear this. It's brutal. Organ donation is a very, very delicate thing. I will say though, I am an organ donor. It's on I think it's my health card. but only if I croak. I don't know if I'm doing this while I'm alive, y'all. I got to be honest with you. I don't know about that. But, if and when I croak, then they can go ahead and have at it, right? But Jesus. Lamoureux says, I am a liver donor and the bond/emotional connection have no words. It's something you have to experience to understand. And kudos for you for doing that. That is beautiful. Can I ask you, were you an anonymous donor? Is this somebody that was a friend, a family member? Is this a spouse of yours? Who was the recipient of your generous and wonderful donation? Theo says, I watched Francia on Secret Life of the American Teenager, and I never knew she was friendly with Selena. Judging by how their friendship hasn't been great, makes me think they were never close. Do you think that their closeness has been exaggerated on some level then, by the press in order to fuel this beef? Because don't forget that sometimes the press manufactures things. Speaking of press manufacturing things, let me go ahead and tell y'all something, and then I'll get back to your comment, Jaleesa. Did you guys see the press going in on Meghan Markle? So Meghan Markle, she came to Paris for Paris Fashion Week. She was watching Balenciaga. Balenciaga changed creative directors after that big scandal, right? They got rid of the person behind that scandal, hired someone new, and this new person is a friend of Meghan Markle's. And he invited her to come watch the show. And so she came, she showed out looking as beautiful as ever. And the British press, the way that they love to manufacture things about this woman, she posted a video in her Instagram stories of her passing by Pont d'Alexandre, right? So that's here in the center of the city. I could walk to Pont d'Alexandre in 10 minutes or less, right? And then what do they say? They go, oh, she is so heartless. She posted a video having a good old time passing by the bridge that Princess Diana died at. Princess Diana died all the way on the other side of Paris at a different bridge. She was at Pont d'Alma, right? Which is further from the center of the city, which is just the craziest, the press really does like to manufacture things, right? So I do think that when it comes to the level of closeness, like Theo was saying, maybe they weren't even all that close to begin with, right? And the press is manufacturing all of this in order to really, really try to drive home a particular point. But at the same time, I do think that they've known each other for a very long time, which is why she felt even comfortable to ask Francia about this. Now, by the way, Secret Life of the American Teenager wasn't the weirdest show ever. It kind of feels like a fever dream. It was so freaking weird. I don't know how to explain how weird that show was. It was weird. I didn't find it to be good, but I couldn't stop watching it. It was weird. Jaleesa says, I can't stand Selena. She can't sing, act, and is a boring crybaby. Womp, womp, womp. A Selena hater in the listen, Jaleesa. I don't really care for Selena Gomez either. I do think that she has this victim complex as well that drives me nuts. And I also agree that she's not really a good singer. I do love her song, though, The Heart Wants What It Wants. That slaps. And there is another song that I like. Who says? That one's a really good one, too. Hey, Jazzy, coming in from the bushes. Represent. If I donated an organ and I see you out there being careless afterwards, yeah, I'm going to be in my feelings. Exactly, right? I get that you can't dictate how people use things that you give to them or you donate to them. But I think that it's natural, normal, and human to have a reaction of just being upset when you see somebody just take something for granted, right? Something that your body needed, right? My body freaking needed that second thing, dude. And I gave it to you thinking you were going to be happy about this new second chance at life. And you're out here doing this. I'd be pissed. Right. And like Henry says, it happens, right? So maybe this is a natural kind of distancing or whatever, but her father did say that this is what they fell out over, right? They stay asking her about it, who's paying you? Exactly, right? It makes you wonder but at the same time, can you guys name anything this lady's been in a while? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull out my cellular device and look her up and see if there's anything else that she's been in a while. Because yeah, I think they kind of need to move on from this. And I think that she and her publicist need to do as much as they can to kind of distance herself from Kidneygate. So I'm looking her up. So she was in Lopez versus Lopez, 2 episodes of that last year and this year, 72 episodes of Grownish over 6 years, you guys, from 2018 to 2024. Then she did another show or it's a podcast called After We Wrap. She did 2 episodes of that. How I Met Your Mother. She did, 30 episodes from 2022 to 2023. So you see, she does have a lot going on. She is booked and she is busy at this point. So she needs to make sure that all of these conversations kind of go back more so towards her work, because her work is there, but you wouldn't know it the way that they only ask her about this one thing. Just saying. She doesn't care. Says so many people are on that list dying and will follow the rules, but y'all are going up for someone who clearly is partying it up with it. And that's the thing, right? Like, it's like, man, if I'm going to go through this and suffer like that, dude, I want someone who's going to take care of my freaking kidney, guard it with their freaking life. And there you go, Deshauna. So you know her. There you go. That she's still acting. And like, her resume is very much up to date. But again, you would not know that by the way that they keep on just asking about this. Emily says a kidney and $1. And that's the thing too. Listen, like, losing $1 doesn't hurt you. You're not risking your life. You don't have to go recover or anything like that. But losing your kidney, hell yeah, that hurts you, right? And hell yeah, you do have to recover from that. Winnie says, I'm an OG. I used to run the David Eason parody. Oh, I followed you on Twitter until Janelle got me shut down. Listen, I bet she'd give anything for that to be back up now. Lamoureux says, I will always have health problems and I would lose it if my match was careless. I get it, right? I get it too. I get it. And I wonder if that was a conversation, because listen, I don't think that Selena suddenly became somebody who was allegedly abusing drugs and alcohol after a transplant. You know, maybe she was already doing this stuff before. And if they were really friends like that, Francia would have known. So maybe there was supposed to be an agreement, like, you're going to change your lifestyle. You're going to get clean and sober. Didn't Selena have to go to rehab? And then they said it was for exhaustion or something like that. But like, didn't she, like, you know, like, I imagine that maybe there was a deal. Like, if I do this, you better take care of yourself and take care of it, right? Just saying. How hard is it to not drink or do drugs when you have one working kidney? That should be a no-brainer. Exactly, right? She was living it up a little bit too much with our girl's kidney over there. Just saying. And I thought they buried the hatchet recently, because Francia did throw some shade again like a couple months ago. And then it seemed like the two of them buried the hatchet. So I was quite surprised to see that she wasn't at the wedding. I completely even forgot about her. I got to be honest with you. Shem, good morning, Shem Jem. Nice to see you. So we talked, and Emily, thanks so much for the recap. Shem was asking what she missed. Emily said, Dolly Parton not feeling well, and Selena Gomez. So Selena Gomez, her ex-friend, right? I don't know why I want to call her Raisa. I have a friend named Raisa. That's why. Francia Raisa talked about wishing Selena well for her new marriage and stuff. Francia was not present at the wedding. I don't think she was invited. And so she said, listen, I can't control what my girl's doing with my kidney. All I can do is just continue on with my life at this point. Theo says, yes, I do think the media made it seem Francia and Selena were great friends, because it makes a better story to put them against each other afterwards. And that's the thing about the press. You got to be careful. They love, especially when it comes to women, they love one of those like gory friendship ending, you know, prop one up to tear the other down sort of a dynamic. Gwen says, my friend was saved by organ donation, lungs. She had an extra 3-ish years with us until 2020. Someone visited her in the hospital while infected. Oh God, with COVID. So sorry to hear that. Isn't that so crazy? You're thinking your friend is going to be able to live a nice, full, long life now that they've been, you know, given the gift of organ donation. And then some person, I hope this person didn't even know they had COVID, because to go to visit someone in a hospital with COVID is a level of just stupid that is incomprehensible. I'm so sorry for the loss of your friend, Gwen. That is absolutely brutal. I was not expecting that ending. I truly wasn't. I thought you were going to tell me that the lungs only held up for 3 years or something like that. But to hear that, jeez. Whew, so sorry. So sorry to hear that. Now, you guys, we do have a couple other stories to get to in today's episode of The Morning Report. Why don't we get into Offset, or should we call him Off Cheating? He was sitting down in an interview with Keke Palmer to talk about the end of his relationship with Cardi B and whether or not Sweetie was amongst the women that he cheated on her with. Then we got to get into Denise Richards and her newest allegations against her ex-husband. And we're going to wrap things up with Hilarious Baldwin addressing her Nepo wife allegations. People are saying she only got onto Dancing with the Stars because of her husband. Listen, well, her husband is the star. So yeah, makes sense. Now what? What do you want? You know what I mean? Like, what do you want? Like, she's married to a quote unquote star. She's put herself on social media to be her own, to have her own reputation and whatnot. She is a dancer. She likes to put dance videos. And this show really likes, like, you know, like mid-level stars, like low-level stars and whatnot, or star adjacent people. So it makes sense for her to be on it. Anyway, we're going to get into all of that. Why don't we start off with the off cheating of it all? So like I said, he was on Keke Palmer's podcast where he talked about his cheating situation. He and Cardi B were married for almost 7 years, and he kept on cheating throughout that marriage. He was cheating even before the marriage and all that stuff. And when Keke asked him if he cheated on Cardi B with Saweetie, Offset said no, that he didn't. It's just a rumor. And then he referred to his ex-wife Cardi B as his bro, and he shared his side of the story, right? And so he says that overall, it's just something that people put out there, and it's just there's no actual credibility towards the rumors or anything like that. But he does admit that he was a cheater, and that it did hurt him when Cardi B up and walked away, because it doesn't feel like he thought that Cardi would eventually walk away. And this is why, like, you can't let people get too comfortable with disrespecting you, right? Like, if someone cheats on you once, you got to bounce, because they're not going to change and repent and feel bad about hurting you. They're going to go, oh, this is a person that, like, will stick around when I act, you know, when I act up, when I'm a mess, or when I mistreat them. And they're just going to keep on doing it. And so unfortunately, Cardi B had to endure that for 7+ years before she finally got to get up and walk away. Again, I still don't understand where these Saweetie rumors came from, because even Offset said that the rumors were just kind of like weird and crazy, but he never really gave any kind of details about where they came from, like what he could have done or what Saweetie could have done in order to get the rumor mill kind of buzzing about the two of them in the first place. I kind of do believe that where there's smoke, there's fire and whatnot. But yeah, just saying. I wouldn't be surprised if you were lying, right? Keke says, I was a dialysis technician and provided dialysis for years for many patients. They became family. The amount of people I've seen pass while waiting for a kidney is crazy. That's so sad. So sad. I can't imagine. That must just weigh on you so freaking heavy. So sorry to hear that. Emmy says, Konnichiwa from Tokyo. So happy to catch a live with you. Love your energy, girl. Well, thank you, Emmy. How's Tokyo treating you? It's so funny. You know, one of my YouTube friends, Steph from Wine and Chill, I think she goes by allegedly Stephanie now. She just got married. And so she's on her honeymoon in Tokyo, Japan right now. I have my friend, Selena, who's in Tokyo as well. Like, it's really Japan season over here. I love that for y'all. And I love your photo. This is so beautiful. What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful picture. Now y'all got me wanting to go on a trip. I'm so bored. I want to go on a trip too. You know, listen, my last trip was to Canada, but I don't consider that traveling, right? Because it's just going back home. But I would love to go to, you know, Japan or something like that right now. I'm jealous of you all. Kahara says, my mom, and while I had a kidney transfer, you had one almost 11 years ago. And when I tell you that lady takes such good care of her body, she doesn't eat anything high in potassium. You have to be super careful. Exactly. So when you see people like her taking it as seriously as possible, like, you're like, yeah, like, this is what it's all about, right? Versus people who just act like these things grow on trees, you know? Shep, you know what? Kiki's a little bit of a pick-me. We're going to be honest. Wasn't she going up for R. Kelly? You know, doesn't she go up for these types of men? I think she was kind of like low-key defending Diddy too. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, I remember there's like a big moment this year earlier on where people were like, girl, like, shut up. Like, you're a pick-me, cosplaying as Jennifer Lewis. And you know what? Isn't it true? Do you guys feel that way too? Like, I feel like she's always had a big personality and a fun personality as well. But she cosplays as Jennifer Lewis, and it's a bit much, just saying. And Ali, I know you're talking about that girl who was in the bed with Drake, Bobby or something like that. Yeah, Offset, he's just so grimy, just saying. Grimy. And I love that, Winnie. Let's double that. Happy thoughts to anyone in the chat who might need them. Because that Selena Gomez story was heavy, y'all. It was heavy. Theo says, Hillary's wackadoodle. Hillary Baldwin, wackadoodle. It's wackadoodle time. I read that in what's her name? Lisa Rinna's voice. Absolutely love that. And he's going for everything. Cardi B already exposed it. Offset wants everything from her. He wants child support. He wants spousal support. He wants the house. Like, it's disgusting the way that this guy tried to clear her up. But again, listen, I have a hard time feeling bad for women who walk headfirst into, eyes wide shut into relationships with trash men. This man was cheating on you while he was dating you, boo. Why did you marry him? He cheated on you within your first year of marriage. Why didn't you divorce him and run as quickly as you can before you get trapped over all these years and have to share all this money with him? Like, got to protect yourselves in relationships, and a lot of the reason why a lot of women are not able to leave relationships is financial reasons. So when you hear or see a woman with all the finances in the world and she's doing even better than her man financially, and she's still choosing his dusty behind over, herself, it just pisses me off. It really does. Just saying. But like Becky says, thank God she finally left him. And listen, Ramster, listen. And how many baby mamas does this man have already? Like, he came with like 3 baby mamas or something like that. Like, I just do not understand what he had that Cardi B wanted. Is he even, I don't know. I'm just saying, I literally do not see a single redeeming quality about this guy, but maybe I'm blind. Just saying. Now, you guys, why don't we get into the Denise Richards story? Here's another person who shouldn't have married, her husband. I don't understand how this Aaron guy managed to get into Denise Richards' circle, let alone get her to marry him, because he just screams unemployed, right? Grifter, weirdo. Like, he just had such weird vibes. The other ladies on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills clocked him immediately. Remember when he was talking about these satellites and curing cancer with your mind, and like the government is following him because they know that he cures cancer with his mind or his energy or some weird paranoia stuff that Denise Richards was playing along with. That whole thing was a freaking mess, but I digress. They're in the process of a divorce, and she's been making DV allegations against him. He's claiming that she left the home in a very filthy condition. Like, the stuff they're saying about each other is really bad. So she told a judge recently that her ex-husband or estranged husband, Aaron, roughed her up while she was recovering from a plastic surgery procedure. And this is something that she testified to yesterday in court in order to maintain the restraining order that she has against him. She says that he got violent with her in May after she had the plastic surgery. And the plastic surgery in question was something on her breast implants and a tummy tuck. And then she says that when she was recovering at the hotel, he hit her in the head. Isn't that crazy? And then he demanded her phone, allegedly. So you're recovering from a surgery, you're weak, and especially with your boobs and your stomach and everything, like all these fluids, she's probably hooked up on all those drainage pumps and all that. And here comes your brokey, your dusty loser husband to hit you in the head and to demand your phone. Insane. Listen, I believe everything she says about this man. You could just see in his eyes that he's off. She also says that there were other incidences of abuse. She says that Aaron once slammed her head onto the floor in April on a trip from Chicago. And she also said that it felt like he was crushing her skull, quote. And she told the judge that he, again, smacked her upside the head after they broke up in July. And he threatened that he would make her, quote, disappear if she called the police on him. So those were 3 incidences back to back to back. So you heard what? May, you heard July, and you heard April as well. April, yeah. All that was missing was May and June in that time frame. And so Denise already has a temporary restraining order, but she wants to get it upgraded to a permanent restraining order that would force Aaron to stay 100 yards away from her for the next 5 years. Aaron is, of course, denying all of Denise's allegations. I believe he's trying to counter her allegations and claim that she was the one who was violent towards him. The whole thing is a freaking mess. It really, really is. Theo says, Aaron was always so weird. Exactly. You could see that guy was off and his job was like just a grift or whatever. Isn't there like another female celebrity dating some like grifter? There was that guy who, what's his name? Andrew Garfield or something like that. He was dating like a witch or something like that, like a full-time witch. Listen, I think, if you want to be a witch in your free time, cool. But as a full-time job, I don't know about that. I don't know. But he was doing that. And then there was somebody else, Jennifer Aniston, isn't she dating like one of those like kind of like weirdos? Like, I don't know what this guy does, but like it's some kind of bogus job like Aaron does. I don't know why my girls aren't learning their lessons about these grifters. Exactly, Ramster. You went through Charlie Sheen. Like you would think that would wake you up and make you as careful as ever about men and whatnot. Like I really, really, truly hate this for her. And it just makes me sad when women find themselves in back-to-back traumatic, toxic, abusive relationships and whatnot. It just feels so unfair. And one of like Denise's most beautiful qualities that she always had was her eyes, right? Or should I say were her eyes. She always had these big, beautiful, sparkly blue eyes. But as you could see, like they've slowly kind of looked sadder and sadder and have been dimmed and just looked, different. And I think it's a result of all of these guys kind of like taking away her, as Brittany from the Valley would like to say, her sparkle, right? And I really hate that for her. So I hope that now that she's finally getting rid of Aaron, she will be able to find herself in a better place. My God, I hate that for her. I really, really do. Winnie the Cat says David Easton probably thinks he has a chance with Denise. Now listen, at this point, after seeing her marry Aaron, maybe he does. Maybe he does. That's the scary part, right? Laura says, if one, that's great, but no one gets to decide. The choice is the person I donated makes you. I think you're part of my playback posse talking about the Selena Gomez story. And it's really sad, honestly, this entire story. It's crazy. You really never know what people are going through behind the scenes when it comes to their romantic relationships, especially. Although none of us are surprised about this, because don't forget, there was not an iconic, but a notorious scene in The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills where they're walking away from a fight with the ladies. And Aaron is like snatching her by the hand, walking away, and he's tightening his grip on her. And she says, ow, you're hurting me. And he doubles down and says that he will crush her hand, right? So we knew that this guy in general didn't flinch at the idea of hurting her. And it is just so sad. And thank God, Allie, that he didn't let her, because I think he would continue to make her life hell if he had some kind of child tying him to her. He also says, how does one monetize being a witch? The charmed ones would never. Exactly. Listen, I think, with the exception of the Etsy witch, I think that a lot of times it's people who just kind of have no shame, really, that I wouldn't personally trust, to be honest with you. I don't know. What about you guys? Have you guys ever like gone to like a witch or something like that on like Etsy or like a private website? Did your things or your spells or whatever come true? Just curious. Yes, says the power of 3 will set you free. Jesus says, do you see Britt took her implants out? Yes, I did. And thank God for that. I still hate that Jax was the one who got to choose them for her. He made her get them way too big. That whole episode and season was just so gross. And I'm happy that she's taking her power over her body and everything and her life back by getting rid of those, because those were just not good for her at all. So thank God for that, Britt. I'm really happy to see her in a better place, and I'm hoping to see this process go down on the next season of The Valley. They're currently filming, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that they're currently filming. So I wouldn't be surprised if we got to hear more about that. Now, you guys, why don't we get into our final story of the day? We've got to talk about Miss Hilarious Baldwin opening up about whether or not she is a Nepo wife. She did an interview with the podcast's host of Not Skinny But Not Fat, and she said that if her husband, Alec Baldwin, quote, ever made a call that would make things easier on me, I would feel like I didn't deserve it. I'm a hard worker. I want to earn things on my own merit. I think especially because anybody who marries a celebrity is going to be accused of being a Nepo wife. It makes you feel like you don't earn things, which is just a horrible feeling, especially as a Capricorn, a horrible feeling. And so I love when like ladies randomly throw in like their zodiac sign, right? Like especially as a Capricorn, especially as a Scorpio, especially as a this. Like it's just so funny to me in a good way, right? Like it's just so cute. What else did she say? She says that one of the things that drives Alec crazy about her is how independent she is, even with simple things like opening the door for herself, blah, blah. So essentially, she said that she got on the show through her own merit. Like, she has her own social media following. She's been posting dance videos for years. So it was a no-brainer that Dancing with the Stars would go to her to get her on the show. Listen, are you guys even watching Dancing with the Stars like that? I heard that she just got eliminated from the show. I saw her doing an exit interview crying about it and whatnot. Listen, I gotta be honest with y'all. I think that people are hard on her. Like, I think that people don't understand that this, to me, I see her as a performance artist. Like, she has decided to commit to a bit and commit to a role 100%. And I think that it's absolutely hilarious. But I feel like just other people don't really just, I think people take her too seriously, right? I just see her as a live action troll. And so I think that's why I'm able to enjoy her personally. Hey, Angie, we've been dealing with a smelly drain and my landlord is a douche. So my husband got home after a 16-hour day driving a semi and managed to fix it for now. Oh my God, l'homme capable. We love a man who knows how to take things into his own hands. Thank God for your husband. I cannot imagine having to deal with like a foul odor and my landlord not giving a crap about it and just letting me kind of like suffer with the stench, like not cool at all. I hate that he even had to deal with that after all of the work he was doing, but thank God he's capable of doing that. Hysteria Baldwin listen, they're all the nicknames you can come up with for her and her kooky little grifts. Listen, I think she's my favorite troll. I'm sorry, y'all, but I see that she is a troll, and so I'm able to kind of like not take her too seriously, right? Laura says, I can't hear the name Ilaria without giggling. I'm telling y'all. Oh, sorry, Winnie the Cat. I thought this already played out. Didn't it play out? Sorry. Sorry, I saw it on my TikTok. Same here, East Awesome. I really, really do. And so that's why I appreciate her. And the fact that she just never drops the bit. Like, I have a friend who takes improv classes. She doesn't know who this person is, but maybe I should hook her up with Ilaria Baldwin and show her that, listen, maybe you should do this, your acting or whatever as a full-time thing. It's absolutely hilarious. I can't stand her though. She's funny. She's funny if you don't take her seriously. And if you see her as just a performance artist, she is. Green Queen says she was definitely a better dancer than some of the others, but doesn't have a following. Exactly. And most people who know her or have heard about her dislike her severely. Like, there's a big campaign, like a big hate campaign against her of people urging others to vote against her. Vote for anybody but Hilarious, they said. And so eventually, guess what happened? Spoilers, sorry, y'all, but the anti-campaign worked. Our hamster says that Baldwin reality series was such a snooze fest. It wasn't even aired. And that's the thing. I was so disappointed about that. I watched it and started doing some recaps for you guys, but it's pas grand chose. Not much was happening, unfortunately. So that sucks. Winnie the Cat. I guess you're a couple. Listen, I get it. It's so hard to keep up with all the shows. I'm still catching up on Love is Blind US. I'm catching up on 90 Day Fiance and just so many other things. It's so hard to stay on top, especially, when you're doing other things, going out, zipping it and doing it and whatnot. It's hard. So I get it. I'm sorry for the spoiler. Anyway, you guys, thank y'all so much for joining me for another episode of The Morning Report. Per usual, I had a great time chatting with y'all, and I'm looking forward to being back again tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk more about the day's hottest topics. I did forget to do the ad, the B-roll or whatever, so I'm going to play that on the way out, okay? If you like today's episode, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you tomorrow. Happy Wednesday. Bye, y'all.
The Morning Report is brought to you by Philo. Watch your favorite shows and movies from over 70 different channels, including MTV, TLC, WeTV, and more for only $28 a month. Get a free trial today by clicking the link in the description box of this video to get your free trial up and running. Tired of learning languages in boring, frustrating ways? Try TalkPal. TalkPal is your personal AI language tutor. It teaches you languages in fun, engaging ways. It gives you real-time feedback, assesses your pronunciation, and the learning process is personalized just for you. Join millions of other learners and start your language learning journey today.